And for me to get put down for having 7 kids, as hard as I go for my babies, a whole year, you deny me a DNA test for a whole year?
I didn't deny you nothing.
I don't want no sorries from nobody. Keep your sorries. I don't want no sorries. I will punch her in her face. I don't care.
Oh, no.
23 years have passed, and still the plaintiff had no idea who her real father was.
What it was like growing up without a father.
I've experienced feelings of abandonment, and then I have to deal with the reality of my own father, who's alive, not in another state. He's living in the same state, has not tried to contact me, doesn't want to be around me. That hurts. He's in the same state, and he's taking care of other kids that are not even his.
That was totally hurtful to watch, but it was very true.
Mr. Harrison, is this true what she contends? Where did your doubt begin?
One daughter was born, and at the time she said, well, that's not your child. And as we kept progressing, she got pregnant again with our teacher, and I thought it was my child, so I stayed with her and tried to do the right thing.
You had one child, your first child. Thought it was his, but it wasn't.
It turns out that even Mommy was foggy on the paternity part.
Were you certain Mr. Harrison was Artisha's father?
No, I wasn't, because at that time, I'm ashamed of myself because I was living a fast life. I was a party girl, go out a lot. I used to sell drugs, hang in the street, party animals.
Next came the part that kicked in doubt.
We got married. We moved in an apartment together, and at that point, then it was kind of like we was a family. We stayed in church a lot, and I was just used to hanging out in the streets. Me and my girl go out, and I was a little promiscuous, and I did have someone else that I was, having sexual intercourse with. I got pregnant, come to find out that, it wasn't his child.
All right.
Sadly, life took adverse turns, and Miss Connolly was born in prison.
When you have Artisha, are you saying to yourself in your mind at the time, I hope this doesn't happen again, I've had one child and it's not his, what if is Artisha's his? Like, are you concerned? Are you questioning?
I got locked up. I had Artisha in prison.
And before that, were you with many different men or just one other man besides Mr. Harrison? Several.
Okay, there were several men involved.
Nobody could
So,
find you. You're always gone.
Besides
You're
the point,
disappeared.
it ain't your job to find me. The law will find me. They'll bring me to justice. Never took that upon that effort. It's 23 years later. So they went to court and gave them my address and gave them everything.
How dare you right now say
You're saying we would have had a DNA test 20-something years ago.
Correct,
so
correct.
because that didn't happen, in your mind, you began to doubt even more.
Still, all of this could have been sorted, and Miss Connolly wouldn't have had to go through all of this.
My first semester of college, that's when I met him. That's when I first spent time with him. It was weird. He was trying to be a father. We went our separate ways, and he didn't try to contact me. You want to know how I found him? I was sitting at the bus stop, and I saw him walking past me.
And what happened?
I said, excuse me, I've been looking for you. He said, who you? I said, it's your Artisha.
That's correct.
You didn't
I
recognize
didn't recognize it.
Mr. Harrison was not up for taking all the blame.
Mr. Harrison, do you want Artisha to be your daughter?
More than anything in the world. It doesn't matter what anybody says. These are all God's children. Those children belong to God. They didn't ask to be here. Those are God's children we are playing with. She didn't ask to be here.
No, she did not.
And if I'm wrong, I ask God himself to forgive me. Whether I am or whether I'm not, I commend their effort.
However, his actions were quite contrary to his words.
I told him to meet me at my job. First met at the bus stop. He said, I'm gonna come down there and I'm gonna see you. He didn't come. I called him 7 times, and then I texted him, don't even bother coming, because I left. He didn't respond. And then I called him the next day, and I said, can you come see me at my job? If you don't come, I'm going to be angry. He said, all right, I'll come. So he didn't come, and I called him, and he don't answer.
So the alleged daddy is all show and no go.
So I called him, I'm on the bus, I'm off of work. I said, where you live at? I'm about to come and see you. He said, hold on, let me ask my lady. I said, what does that have to do with anything? Give me your address. He won't give me his address. He said, I'm gonna call you back. He never called me back.
So ultimately today, you want to
I just
find
wanna
out,
know
you
if he
want
is,
to know?
to know
Are you
because
hoping that he's your father?
If I am, I'm hoping that he is, because I wouldn't know who is.
Let's see if he really is the father.
Mr. Harrison, you are her father.
Congratulations. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Both plaintiff and defendant are devastated by the paternity disputes and are looking for solutions.
You say Mr. Allen has only seen his daughter one time since she has been born, and you want him to take responsibility starting today. Is that correct, Mr. Allen? You say you are not Italy's biological father and claim Ms. Beckley's accusations are driving a wedge between you and your fiancé. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
That is why we started on the devastated note.
And you feel like he's just neglecting your child.
Yes, ma'am. It makes me feel angry. She's without a father. It's terrible that she has to go through that, and I'm raising her on my own. I just feel like you should be a dad to her, because you are her father.
So why all the neglection? Apparently, Mr. Allen was doing it for a reason.
The time of conception made me have strong doubts that the child is not mine.
What was the nature of your relationship during the time when Italy was conceived?
Well, me and Ms. Beckley had separated. We were co-parenting. We were still good friends.
That's not true. On Germany's 2nd birthday, we had sex, unprotected.
It wasn't baby-making sex.
It's not about baby making sex. Sex is sex.
It was angry sex.
Sex is sex.
And the pregnancy seemed too soon to occur.
Did you find out she was pregnant?
Within a day or two.
That's
Your
a
Honor.
lie.
Yeah, within a day
That
or
is
two,
a lie.
she told me.
How
Yes,
can I
Your
tell
Honor.
you a day after we have sex that I'm pregnant? That don't even make sense.
1 or 2 days after, you're like, she's already pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor. It ain't no telling who else she didn't let hit before I hit, you feel me? So I'm like, you
need to stop lying.
Your Honor.
You're a liar.
This doubt stemmed from him not participating at all.
Was he supportive during the pregnancy with Italy?
No, ma'am. I had emergency C-section. He was not there. I have evidence, Your Honor. He signed Germany's and Xavier's birth certificate. Hers is not signed.
So the first one is for Germany, Jacqueline, and Alan. Father's name's there. Italy, Lisa, Alexandria, Beckley. No father listed.
Further, he refused to take as the bad guy.
I was there for my other 2 children by her. I even raised her other daughter, Your Honor. How could you tell me I don't deserve something when I stood my
You
ground
wasn't
for
there.
my
How you
children?
deserve her
Did I
name?
not call for a DNA test, Miss Beckley?
You did not.
You denied me a DNA
Oh,
test
crazy.
twice, and now you telling me I don't deserve it? I have children, and all of them have my last name. I didn't have my biological father in my life. It would be a shame for me not to step up for mine.
Nonetheless, baby mama denying the DNA test had ticked the parents into this situation.
She told me that she was pregnant, was too fast. The time of conception, the baby was due March 11th.
How do you come and see the other kids, Mr. Allen, but not spend time with Italy?
While us having a visitation, we have swap and exchange at a police station. She don't make Italy a factor to my life. She gave Italy her last name.
All of this was taking a toll on the defendant.
Like I said, I didn't have my biological father. He was murdered the year that I was born. So it will be a shame not for me to be there for my children. That's why I'm here today.
If I'm here,
a whole year, you deny me a
You
DNA
don't
test
deserve
for a
it.
whole
I
year?
didn't deny you nothing.
Hold on, let's get some order. I'm starting to understand what's going on here.
I stepped away
And
from
this
her.
little girl is the one suffering because she's a year old with no father.
Mr. Allen's fiancée was also in the courtroom to back up his claims.
It's been said that she told another guy he was the father.
Okay, y'all got proof of that, and y'all fiancés with a ring at. You
Judge,
have
I'm
no
not
business.
talking
That's
to
why
you.
you're here.
You
Was you
speak
in
to
the bed when we had her?
I was robbed of my pregnancy experience because of her and her
How?
Even if he's not the biological father, you've convinced yourself that he is. And everything about them just enrages you.
But only DNA can mop up this back and forth.
Mr. Allen, you are the father.
Told you. You too, fiancé. Stepmama. Stepmama.
Stop. Stop. You all are still very much tied. Everybody in this room can see it.
Still, it seems Daddy is not done yet.
And for me to get put down for having 7 kids, as hard as I go for my babies,
Okay.
I would never
That's
let
why you
anyone
trying to
doubt
tell
me
me
for
no.
a father.
I don't think you were ever put down. It was
No,
told
for you
that
to tell me to
can't.
stop making babies,
You
if I wanted
can't.
to have another
If you
baby
can't,
and I take care of them, that's my business.
But can't
I
you
can.
just cried out that you were struggling at
Even
being?
though I'm struggling, do that mean stop?
Divorce at next, if the baby in question turns out to be someone else's.
Mrs. Moon Merrifield, you've dragged your husband, Mr. Merrifield, to paternity court to prove that he fathered your 20-month-old son, Kane. You claim he's been denying your son since birth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Merrifield, you believe your wife cheated on you and has been lying about Kane's paternity, and now you say a divorce is next.
Yes, Your Honor.
This case started at full throttle of ending things.
Mr. Merrifield, there's a lot at stake here today.
I have divorce papers here.
Let me see that
50%.
evidence. You have the divorce papers already
Yes, ma'am.
filled out. They're just what, awaiting execution?
I need to find out the answer if this is my child or not.
He always
Get some
results
help.
to that. Anytime we have a fight, whatever, it's always divorce. It's never let's talk. He always throws up divorce in my face.
Mr. Merrifield was acting all worked up because of this.
The reason why we're here in the first place, man, I caught her texting some dude that supposedly was supposed to be her ex-boyfriend. That I've seen some Facebook messages from person before.
But it's okay when he does it.
He lets his imagination, well, if you said this, it's probably this. And if you did this, then thinking this. And I know guys. And
But you admit you were texting someone else.
I did.
There are even whole judges up there.
You say these are messages.
The evidence that I have right now,
That you found.
Yeah, I'm texting
And?
one of the dudes that she was talking to right
So?
there.
This is a message where you text this man.
Yeah.
And you say, are you messing with my wife?
Yeah.
And he says, don't nobody want your wife. I'm far from it. You need to be with your wife instead of acting like a clown.
A lot of insecurities are running through this marriage.
You've been
It
together
doesn't
how
even
long?
matter. 16 years off and on. For he made me change my number, but he won't change his number. And he tells me just because they crossed the line one time, they can still be good friends.
No, the reason
but
why
because it's me, oh no, I automatically want to have sex with this person.
So
and
you
I'm all
two
type
are
of
in
names.
a
I'm
marriage,
old,
but
I'm this, I'm that.
functioning like you just dating.
Yeah, no loyalty.
Because everything has to
none of
be
that.
his way.
And there were a lot more double standards in this equation.
The reason why I have doubts is I found her texting 3 different dudes. 2 of them, 3 of them she already slept with and she loved. She's
First
texting these
people
guys
I
that they
talk
love
to.
each other. She's supposed to change her number. She changed her number, then she starts emailing that fake app, goes and downloads a fake app. And now she's texting
Because he
from a
goes
fake
through my
app.
call
Now she
log
got
and
the
he
fake
calls
number.
every
She's
number
calling them.
on there.
She's
He always talking about his needs and this and that and that. But what about my needs?
Both sides are on polar ends. Let's see if a witness can clear this up.
Every time it's bad, she blames it on me. When it's good, it's not my fault. But he also, if I'm on my daughter's side, then I'm wrong, or I'm taking her side, or I'm against him. I have been with this little boy, this young man, since he was 14 years old. He still doesn't know how much I love him. He still thinks I try to come between them, but he's too stupid. He thinks I'm against him.
The mommy was trying to help the folks out.
She's wrong for doing that text. I told her she shouldn't do that. Sometimes I tell her, you need to walk away, because Devontae's acting crazy.
Do you believe Cain is your
I know
grandson?
Cain is his. I know. She would tell me. She told him before when it was Kaveh, my first grandson. He knew that might have been a possibility, slightly. Kaveh wasn't his.
I didn't have
When
no doubts
Kaveh
about
came
that. I
out,
didn't think
he
nothing
looked
about
identical
I
to
couldn't
him.
get.
Mr. Merrifield was quite supportive until the baby was born.
I
My doubts
had a
has nothing to-
6-month-old
my
baby
doubts-
when
my
I got
doubts has
pregnant with Cain.
nothing
I
to
didn't
do
have no time. I
with
was
my son's
breastfeeding
looks.
at home.
Do you all realize that you're talking exactly at the same time and I can't hear what either one of you are saying?
He was there through the whole thing. I had a 6-month-old son. I was at home 24/7 being with my son. I had no time to go nowhere else. I'm not that type of woman.
However, the kid's eye was the game changer for the defendant.
He'll stare at him and be like, I'm trying to see if he has the eyes. I'm like, every child you have are not gonna have your eyes. I have brown eyes and he has my beautiful brown eyes.
Well, then-
And I have the evidence over here that I did the research that over green and brown eyes, the brown eyes are the dominant trait anyway.
He
He's
don't
mad
got
at
to
me.
do that.
That he don't look like
Yeah,
me
I said
anyway.
it to hurt
He
you.
looks
I said it to
nothing
hurt
like
you.
me.
Let's just break this down.
Though Mr. Merrifield wanted a solution, he wanted the mommy of the plaintiff out of the picture.
He
trying to
cheated on
tarnish
her
her.
so many
I can-
times. He had
I
a
haven't even said
possibility of
the stuff, the
another
real facts
child
that I got to
before
tarnish
this.
her. I
And
have
she was
not.
still gonna be with him.
I haven't. I
He
cheated
cheated on her a lot.
All right, I realize you're passionate and I realize you have a lot of
No, because-
emotion. And I know there is a lot riding on these results today.
Now, let's get to the solution.
Mr. Merrifield, you are Cain's father.
Apologies, Devontae.
I apologize. Now we have to figure out what we have to do to fix our dang marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Public denial has taken a toll on Miss Hooker and her child, and she wants to set the record straight.
Ms. Hooker, you are here with your mother because you say the defendant's son, Mr. Abraham, fathered your 10-month-old daughter, Kanaya. You say that Ms. Baker and her family's public denial of this child has caused you pain, and you are here to prove her son is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Plaintiff's mommy has her back in this paternity trial.
It's not that she don't care. Her feelings been hurt, so she hold a guard up. It's not Miss Baker who denies Kenaya. It's her family who makes my daughter feel some type of way. It's not Miss Baker. She was too fat to be his baby. She fat like them, and never from Miss Baker. It's always her family who always have something to say about my grandbaby.
However, the defendants were in paternity court for their own.
Denaya was pregnant, but then when we found out for sure, he told me, he said he wasn't the only boy that had messed with Denaya.
Okay.
And he made me promise that we was gonna get a blood test, and things didn't go the way we thought they were gonna go, and now we're here.
The alleged baby daddy's sister added this to the trial.
And my mom did tell me, she said something about she think I didn't like her. Maybe her perception of what other people view of her is just her perception. She has to understand that sometimes it's hard for people to for me personally to look at the baby because it's just a reminder that my brother's not here. So it's not about her and her feelings. When she does come around, it is a sense of sadness for me.
But no, Miss Hooker was persistent about Keyshawn being on the board.
Keyshawn accepted that he was the father of this child.
Yeah, in my mind.
From the way he behaved at your home. But Mom, Ms. Baker.
I ain't never said yay or nay. All I say is what my baby said to me.
Right.
I've talked to her, and she know why we here. And that's all I'm concerned with, all this other bickering, and I don't got time for it. This my baby,
right,
and he gone.
The defendant's testimonies had Miss Hooker boiling up.
Just come back and use the baby. I don't want her. I don't want no sorries from nobody. Keep your sorries. I don't want no sorries.
I'm not giving you a sorry.
Okay?
Hold on.
She say something to me because I'm a child. I'm gonna keep talking to her because she thinks she's hard and I will punch her in her face. I don't care.
No. You're gonna have your day.
Yeesh. Let's cut to the results.
The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Baker, Mr. Abraham, and Kenaya Abraham is 0%.
Nobody do that to me that I don't like you. Stop talking to me then.
Nobody
Ms. Hooker, just stop.
That's my apology, though. That's when you owe one.
No, excuse me.
Because you know you slept with somebody else.
Ms. Hooker.
The wedding is off because sudden denials are acceptable for the plaintiff. So she's sorting paternity tests.
I was gonna marry Gregory. We were dating for 11 years off and on. I have a 4-year-old son by Gregory, and I also have a 7-month-old by Gregory. He's disrespectful, and I don't wanna marry someone like that.
After 11 years, you just figured that out?
Every time I turn around is, you messing with this person, you're sleeping with this person, but Greg dropped me off at work everywhere I go. He has my phone, he dropped me off and picked me up, so where is there time to cheat on you at?
Connected for so many years, and now they despise each other?
11 years you've invested, and now you feel like G is not your child?
Out of 11 years, 8 of them, I was the one trying to keep this together when this always fell apart. Because
how? You always accusing me of sleeping with somebody.
Her family and all the rest.
You're not in a relationship with my family. You're in a relationship with me.
That's what I was trying to figure out. This one and the other sister, how everybody think they got more?
I separated from everybody.
All of this is hard to read.
When you made G, meaning you are G's father, you believe, or you?
At the time we conceived him, she was still having sex with multiple partners.
That's a lie. You asked me who did I have sex. You asked me who did I have sex. It's not a lie.
What I do? Went through your phone. I went through your Facebook. It ain't no 2 weeks.
Please, Judge, intervene, because these people are cray-cray.
Like I said, around that time, we wasn't together. We was seeing each other a little cordially here and there, but not really. But when I came and everything happened, I'd already confronted her, and she admitted out her own mouth the pictures, the texts, the phones, the messages, everything I showed you.
Me? We were a family.
Everything, we wasn't a family.
I cut off everybody to be in a relationship with you, so how's it a problem?
Even poor Jerome can't handle this.
Ma'am, I'm gonna escort you out of the courtroom if you open your mouth one more time before you're addressed.
You only with me, or you only try to keep this together because of SJ, which is my first boy.
That's a lie. We was only together because of SJ. I told you
don't really want to be with me, Greg. You only with me.
Why do you go back to him?
I've been with Greg for 11 years. Greg was my first actual boyfriend.
Why are you putting up with this woman?
I have 2 kids by this man. When I was pregnant with my son, me and my family had an altercation and fell off. I didn't talk to my family for months at a time.
These are the main ones who helped you draw your relationship.
What do they got to do with it? You keep living in the past.
She giving money to her mom, and everybody else.
But when we in the dirt, my mama give me money. You give your mama money, your sister or brother money.
I'm here about the baby, man.
Next, the defendant's mother gave her take on the situation.
Greg doesn't give me money. If anything, when they fall on hard times, I help y'all with rent.
You have never called Greg and asked me for $20 into another day to hold you over.
If I have, I've given him millions. I should have.
Okay, and what's the problem with me giving my family?
When I do it, we not hurting.
Done, I help them as much as I can. I fed all y'all.
Okay.
Miss Greenhouse was not ready to slow down a bit. She put on this show.
If you had doubt, you should have brought that not 7 months later when my son is 7 months old. Don't bring doubt 7 months later. You signed his birth certificate. Matter of fact, Your Honor, when we was in the hospital, Greg asked me about what name do you want? Do you want G-E-E, G-I-E, or G-E-I? And I said G-E-I, and that's my son's name. My son is G. Rakeem Thompson. At the hospital with me and you didn't do that on the whiteboard. At the hospital when I gave birth to my son.
My first boy.
Up next, the sissy stood up on the podium, and she went like this.
When it came up to them going to the hospital to have G, Chrissy was talking to Greg or whatever. She was like, hey, are you sure you want to do that? We can get a DNA test. Greg said, man, shut up. Like, he was excited. He was like, man, shut up. For what? That's exactly what he said.
And you heard that?
I was on the phone with her.
All right.
But she was not done with side driving of the testimony.
When I got my 4-year-old son back not too long ago, out of nowhere, Your Honor, he tell me, but that ain't my daddy.
But you got a whole girlfriend, so what am I doing now? Why do it
I said,
matter?
what you talking about? I said, who your mom boyfriend? He said, yeah, it might be G daddy, but you my daddy, is what he telling me. So I called her, I just summed it up, you shut up.
However, the defendants were no less dramatic either.
Formula, baby, need diapers. He don't move on your time. He don't move on your time.
I do the world. They know that. Anybody know that. Did it for her kids, did it for her sister, son. Don't lie. Don't sit here and lie either.
All right.
'Cause I done fed you.
She done fed you.
She ain't fed me.
You lived in her house.
Let's take another round of it.
So regardless of what the results are today, you all still have to figure out a way to respectfully.
Your Honor, I really wish I could. My 4-year-old boy, I keep him and I do the world for him.
You disrespectful.
You gotta shut up. When I call and try to talk to my son, it's a problem.
Thompson, the way you're speaking to women is disturbing me. You have a mother, you would never want anyone to tell her to shut up.
Talk to her like that.
Can we get to the result already?
Mr. Thompson, you are the father.